Welcome everybody. It's time for intermediate session number 4. Again, welcome back everybody. Good afternoon or good morning if you're in a place where it's morning now. Hope you've had a great week and looking forward to Code Club today. We also have my able, excellent helpers to help you out with any problems today. Welcome David. Say hi, David.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And there's Owen, although Owen is looking headless at the moment.
Yeah,
Owen has done something wrong.
There we go.
That's a bit
Hi,
better.
everyone.
Welcome. Looking forward to today. Today's going to be fun. We're doing something that we have never done with Scratch before. What are we doing?
We're using the camera.
Yep.
The camera.
We're going to use the webcam, which is super exciting. But that does mean adding an extension to Scratch. So I haven't got the chat window open yet. Let me get the chat window open so I can see what's going on there as well. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now. And hopefully we're going to start with the tutorial. So can somebody paste the tutorial link?
Yep.
We'll try not to use the offline version if we can avoid it, because everything I'll be talking you through today will be using the online version of Scratch. So if you can possibly use online Scratch rather than offline, that will be better.
So is online different to offline?
There's some different things in it, and we had some questions last time I did this about how to do it with offline, and I didn't know. So if you can use online, that will be easier.
There we go. There's the online link.
Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you very much.
I think online has more things you can use and creatures.
Right. So let's share the main screen now. Off we go. So hopefully you can all see us, and you can also see the tutorial.
Up.
We'll get Scratch up in a minute. So this is the project we're going to do. We're going to do a project where we hold up coloured things to our webcam, and we've got some coloured bits of paper here. You'll need something coloured as well. These sorts of things will work best for you. So big, flat pieces of some plain colour, that will be easiest. So we've got...
I am one with the blue.
You're one with the blue paper. Thanks, Alex. We've got some coloured paper, but any other kind of flat coloured thing that's a plain colour will work for this project. And we're going to do something that looks a bit like this, that flashes up and tells you what colour it's seeing.
We're going to be able to count the amount too, instead of just being able to see if there's blue. But we're able to count the amount there is.
Let's get started then, shall we? Go to the first page of the tutorial, and we're going to start a new Scratch project. So I'll click on this, and then I'll put my tutorial offer onto the other window, and we'll get going. If at any point any questions come up on the chat, David or Owen, and you need me to slow down or repeat something, can you shout it out and let me know, because otherwise I won't see.
Do we need the cat?
Will do.
Thank you. Cool.
Do we need the cat?
We don't need the cat. The first thing we need to do is delete our first sprite. That's right, Alex. Well done.
Deleted him.
So first we delete the sprite, and then we're going to create a brand new sprite. So we're going to use the paint tool. You know how to do that, Alex?
Are we going to paint our
Not that button. Go press back.
It's just normally when we do the other ones, we do our own.
So what we're going to do, can I show you on the tutorial? We want to paint a crosshair. So we're going to do some straight lines like this in a cross. Can you do those?
Let's just get lines.
Yep.
If we go like that.
Yep. And then another one down the middle. That's it, and let go. So I was holding down Shift there to make sure that it was a stay straight. And then we're going to pick a circle, and we want it to be filled as well. And let's see, if we drag the mouse from the middle, does that work? No, it doesn't work that way. Let's undo that. We want it somewhere over here. Hold down Shift to make it a circle. And we'll move it around a bit into the middle. Hopefully we can send it backwards as well, so it's behind the crosses. There we go. It looks a little bit like a crosshair.
Look up here, it'll be easier.
That looks
It's not-
perfect, doesn't it?
It's not perfect.
It's good enough.
Yes, it is.
Can we drag it a little bit more? Oh no, I'm drawing another picture. Let's not worry too much about that. We're going to move that into the middle of our stage.
I think it needs to be a bit see-through.
Well, should we see how we do that? Should we go back to code?
Is it code? Is there a code like transparency?
Let's see. For first, we'll change the name of this and we'll call it target. I'm hoping you've all managed to draw something like that. But don't worry too much what it looks like. That's not the important bit of this. Just something that looks a little bit like that. Then what we're going to do here in the code for our new target sprite, we're going to click the add extension button, which is in the bottom left. So it's just here.
Extension. We need an extension.
And there, right in the middle, is one called video sensing.
Pen. I want to be able to draw.
Well, we're going to need video sensing. And when you do that, you'll notice this little message comes up in the top left saying it wants to use your camera. You need to let it do that if you want the rest of the project
If it
work.
can't, the camera ain't going to work.
So we'll press allow, and now Scratch can use our camera. So let's add the code to make this all work now. To already start.
I need to
You
do
need it?
this.
So
we need to use the thing you almost always use. Sometimes you don't. When flag clicked. Now I need to set the video transparency.
Yeah.
So zero. So it's not going to be transparent.
Press enter. Oh, it's okay. That's done. And turn the video on.
Set ghost effect to 80.
I think that's a look.
Yeah, that's going to be looks. So set.
So this
Set
set
color
color effect, but we're going to change it to a ghost effect.
Oh, these are one of my favourite things. I use these all the time.
And to 80.
And I used to not know how to do this stuff. So if we play, well, why can't we see our video? It's not working. I can't see our video.
I wonder which camera it's using. It's using the right camera.
That is annoying.
We also need a forever loop.
Oh, does it need to be in a forever? Like, no, I don't.
Put a forever loop in.
And it goes plop.
And
If something.
that's right.
And then we
Okay.
need a.
Let's just stop for a minute, Alex.
Yeah, let's give them some time. See what we've done.
We should be able to see the picture. Why can't we see the picture yet?
Maybe it needs to be in a forever loop too. Turn it off and on again.
Video on. Let's hope this works. So at the moment, I can't see anything.
That is annoying.
I know what the problem is.
What?
Well, we're using Zoom, aren't we? And Zoom is using our camera.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I'm going to have to change Zoom onto a different camera to make this camera work. Give me a second. Can I zoom in on my code? Yes, of course I can.
Dad, why don't we just use...
No, it's all right, Alex. I know what to do here. So what I've got to do, bear with me a minute. Hopefully you can still see my code. I'm going to change which camera Zoom is using. So if we make Zoom use this camera.
Okay. Why is it in a different place though?
Yeah, it is. So you'll see side view. And then maybe...
Dad, you've not got the code to anything. Doing again. You lost it.
I don't understand what you're saying now.
We've lost the code club background.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Let's see if this works.
It's still not doing... I think I might have to come out of this and start again, which will be a good recap for you. So
There you go.
let
You beat me to it. I was going to say, could we just do a recap? So perfect timing.
Yeah, I think it didn't like trying to share the camera at the same time as something else. So we'll start again right from the beginning. Let me find the link. You did just paste that in the chat, so I should be able to find it in my chat as well.
You can. Up there.
Up there. Right. So start with the tutorial.
Just full screen so I can see.
Yeah. And then we'll start a new Scratch project. Okay.
Now just delete him.
So we're going to delete this sprite. This is the recap for everybody. Hopefully it will work this time. Delete that sprite, and you're going to draw a new sprite, aren't you, Alex?
Draw.
Oh, don't click on that.
I do it every time.
Click on the paintbrush and draw some lines. If I hold down Shift, there'll be straight lines. There we go. That'll do.
That's
and then draw
amazing.
one the other side. Well, it's a bit high, isn't it? But you can move it. Let go. Drag it. Oh, no, you can't. Click on the arrow. You can move that down. There we go. And then you want to put a circle in as well. So click on the circle and give it a fill color.
Purple?
You want purple?
Yes.
Okay. Try to put that right in the middle and then send it backwards by pressing the backwards button at the top. And again. There we go. So we're done with the sprite. That's what the picture looks like.
That looks absolutely perfect now.
Brilliant. So we'll
It's
put that in the
raised
middle
a
of our
little
screen.
bit.
Hopefully everybody can see that.
A stretch.
And then we'll go back to code.
I
And
know this bit.
we need to add the video sensing extension, Alex.
Oh yeah. Should we do that first, or should we
No,
have
we need
the...
to add the extension first, just so we have a camera. So add slowly, Alex. Thank you. There we go. Now the camera's working.
Yay!
So, do you want to see what the code is that you need to add, Alex?
Let me do this. I know what to do, Daddy.
You know what to do. Okay, well, let's get going then. So,
Guys, could we just zoom in slightly on the code? A couple of people having.
I've got this.
you can click the plus button.
There we go. Is that big? Is that good?
That's great. Perfect. Thanks, Alex.
And then we turn video on. Yay! We can see
Perfect.
us.
And what about the ghost effect?
I've turned purple.
You've turned purple because we need to make our sprite ghostly as well. So that's in looks.
Ooh.
Set color effect, it says on the side, but we're
No,
going to
we
change
want
that
it
to
to
ghost.
80.
And press it. Okay. And now press the green flag again. There we go.
Ooh, it's disappeared.
There's a little ghost in the middle.
Why does it look? My hair's gone purple.
Okay. That's what we're expecting to see. Now we need to do something when we're seeing a color. So we need a forever loop, which is in control.
Our good old friend forever.
That's right.
And then we need the if.
Well, what we want to happen is if it's seeing a color, we want something to happen. So how do we do that? If
That. Then we need to go to sensing.
Yeah.
Touching
Colour.
color. Oh no, we don't know what the color is. It's
so you're gonna
kind
hold
of a bit floppy.
Okay. So to get the color of the thing that you want to detect,
Eyedropper time. Eyedropper time.
we're going to pick the eyedropper.
Can you hit it, Daddy? Can you?
Can
hit
you hold it in front of the camera nice and flat?
it?
Because that will be the best colour we can get. There we go. So we've just picked our colour.
If touching colour, say green.
Okay, so we've done that. If touching colour, we want to add a save for 2 seconds, which is under looks as well, I think.
Say green.
Say green for 2 seconds.
Green.
Bit of a funny green, isn't it? Ready to go? Let's see what happens.
Can you see me?
Green. It's working.
Green. Can you say it again? Green. Green. I could just make it say green forever.
Brilliant.
Just hold it here. It will never stop
Let's
saying
go down to the
green.
bottom.
Let's save our project. Now we need just duplicate that a bunch. Duplicate it. Just duplicate it.
Oh, some people saying that the screen share isn't very sharp. Let me just try a different setting. Hang on a minute. Stop share. Share screen, and we'll turn off video quality and share sound. Does this look any better?
That looks a little clearer to me.
Brilliant. Okay, good. Can't zoom in any closer. Much clearer. Brilliant. I'm glad that's better. So hopefully everybody can see the code. And
But now I just need to duplicate the image.
just a minute, Alex. I just wanted to explain that we've added, if you missed the beginning, to get these video blocks, we needed to add the extension. If that is in the bottom left, there's a button for add extension, and we wanted video sensing, just in case you missed that bit.
And you can add anything you want if you want to do any other thing.
Okay, right. So now let's add another color. So we're just going to duplicate this block.
Colour.
Do you know how to do that quickly,
Yes.
Alex? How do you do it quickly?
You right click
On the block and go duplicate. No, not delete 3 blocks. Hang on a minute. There's an undo button if you ever do that.
Undo.
Control Z is an undo.
Control Z is somebody's favourite word.
So we want duplicate. And then we
Not
can put
the-
another set of blocks in, and we're going to change the color.
And can you hold up this so I can eyedropper it?
Yeah, I'll hold it up. You want to eyedropper it.
And keep it nice and
Right in the middle of the red. Perfect.
But there is actually spots on this. It looks a bit. Can you say red?
See if it says red. We need to rerun the code.
Red. Red. Ooh.
Green.
Green. Red.
Green. Not green. Green.
Red. Oh, it's gone so blue.
Shall we make it say blue as well?
Yes.
So we'll do the same thing. We'll right click on that
And
block. Duplicate. What do you think we need to do now? Change the color?
Yes. But can you get the eyedropper?
Are you going to do eyedropper it? Oh, hang on. Go up to where it's brighter. That's it.
Ding.
And
Now you want to say blue.
change that text to
Let's see if we
say
can go green, blue, red,
hit the flag.
green, blue, red, green, blue, blue.
Well, look what's behind it. You see that those boxes in the background are blue. That's what it's picking up. So that's working. Hopefully everybody has managed to get all of their colours.
I don't want it to infinitely say blue. Say green. There we go. It's just going to say blue forever now. I'm sorry. I'll stand in front of it so I cannot see the blue.
It thinks you're blue as well.
No, it's sensing my chair.
It could be the blue chair. I think you're right.
Everything in back here is blue.
But there we go.
My head here. It's no longer saying blue. I can
Now-
block it.
What you might find if your lighting isn't very even, or you've got other colours going on, that it's not always picking up your colour of paper. You might need to add some other versions of the colour. So let's do that with the green one. What we're going to do is we're going to put an OR operator in. So in operators, where's OR? There we go. We'll put OR in here.
No, not instead of it. Is it in? So let's get one where it's bent.
And then we'll do sensing, and we'll do another touching colour.
So I'll show you the different type of green. I'm going to
And
have
you're
the
gonna pick up a
inside
different colour.
bend. Get that in bit. Where
There.
it's darker. Yeah. Because normally it's really bright like that.
Okay.
But when it's bent like that, the bottom bit will get really dark.
So if we run that again, let's see what
Go
happens.
green, and then if I bend it inwards, because normally if I bent it inwards, it wouldn't work, but it should.
Maybe that's a little bit too dark. There we go. But it's still picking up the darker ones where it might not have done before. So if you're having trouble with making the colours pick up, you might
Just
want
get
to
a bunch of different colours, really.
add some OR blocks and add extra colours.
Once you've put an OR block in the OR block into the OR block into the OR block.
Well, you could keep going, but of course, the more you add, the more it's picking up lots of different colours, so the less distinguished it is for the green. So you might pick up colours that are a bit further away from green. So you have to choose
I
kind of.
must put my head in the way so it does not keep saying blue.
Okay.
It just says blue forever.
Mike, can we just do a quick recap for a couple of people just on the the bit we've done so far?
We've just done the forever loop, but the ifs.
Well, should we do a recap from the beginning? So the first thing we did was made ourselves a custom sprite. So instead of creating,
just click.
don't just
'cause I
create,
do that a bunch.
choose a sprite. We used paint instead,
We painted.
and in costumes we painted something using a line and a circle to make
And
our
if
target.
you want there to be perfectly straight lines, use shift.
That's right. Then we added the extension for video sensing. That's really important for your camera. So clicked on that extensions button at the bottom
Lego?
left. Well, maybe later.
Ah.
And then we clicked on video sensing. So that adds some video sensing blocks down here. So in the code for this sprite, our normal starting point when the green flag is clicked, we added 2 video sensing blocks. One to make the video completely solid instead of transparent, and one to turn the video on. So that's these 2 blocks. Then set the ghost effect on this sprite, which is in looks, and set color effect. So ghost effect makes it a bit transparent, and we set it to 80. Then in a forever loop, using the control, so we're always doing this. Then if block goes inside with a touching color for the color of piece of paper we're holding up, using the eyedropper to find the right color, and then added some looks. So say
if we get the blue
green for 2
we can just
seconds.
remove and get infinite blue.
Say red for 2 seconds and say blue. Should we try and make that color a little bit more blue and a little bit less like our background? So we'll change the eyedropper here. Hold this up. Can you drag the eyedropper over and try and get right into the right color? Even more.
It still says blue.
Well, that blue does look a bit grey, doesn't it?
It's not blue, it's grey.
Let's try.
It looks so much more blue in real life.
Let's try that. Oh well, it's close enough.
We should
Because
just
the next
remove
thing-
all the boxes.
Do you want to get another different colour piece of paper while everybody's copying it? Maybe try yellow. Alex is running off to our secret paper stash from Craft. If anybody has any questions on the chat or needs any help with getting this to work, now's the time to ask. I think we're good. We'll just wait for Alex to come back. That blue is really not working in here.
No, I think you are going to be on a loss with the blue.
Where's he gone? Lost my little helper. Here he comes. You can see him come through the door. Shut the door so the dog doesn't come out. There we go. Let's try a yellow instead. So it doesn't really matter as long as you're picking something a bit distinctive. You gonna hold that up in front of the camera for me?
We'll have to change what it says. Whenever I put it up, it now says blue, yellow. No, that's not how you spell yellow, Dad.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it picks it up when you forgot to put before we put the W in.
Okay.
Yellow.
So hopefully everybody's caught up. Chris, if you do get stuck and need to go through it again, there's a video. The video will be on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it again. But for everybody else who's
Can we zoom out a bit?
caught up with us, I think we should move on to the next bit now. I'll try and keep this visible and we can talk through it again as we go. But what we now need to do is move on to the next. Well, yeah, we're going to make something happen. We're not just going to say messages. We're going to make something else
I
happen.
want a coloured parrot to appear. I want a blue parrot to appear.
Okay,
when I
shall we see if we
click
can
on
do that then? We're good. Do you want a parrot or something else?
I want
Let's
a
create
parrot.
a new sprite.
I want a green parrot. Green.
Shall we see if there's a parrot? There is a parrot, or you could use the toucan.
But I want parrot.
You want
and
the
you
parrot.
can change the colour of the parrot.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it's flying! It's a flying parrot!
let's create a new sprite with the parrot. Okay.
Okay, we need to change it though, because we don't want it to be all red and blue. It needs to be one solid colour, remember? So we need to change it to costumes. I know my way around editing things.
Let's just had a question on the chat about they're saying green for nearly all the colours. how we got the accuracy better in the OR operator. There we go. Well, all we did was used different variations of the same colour. If yours is
green, he's saying green.
If yours is saying green all the time, you can add different shades, but making it less sensitive is actually a bit harder. There doesn't seem to be a way to control, to make it pick up less things. Did you see how we had that problem with blue because our background looks a bit blue? Maybe you've got something a bit green in the background. All I can suggest is trying something with a different colour or improving the lighting in your room for your web camera.
It is because of why is the yellow so much like brown? I just looked at that in the eyedropper. It looks like brown.
Okay, let's move on and let's do these costumes. So what we need to do with our parrot sprite is we're going to change the colour of the costume to match the colour we're detecting.
No, you do not want to use this. You want to use the bucket.
Yeah, use the bucket. And what colour are we detecting first?
Red. Can we just eyedropper this red?
It's already red, so you don't. That's fine.
I'm just getting that red. To
okay. You can use it. Okay. Should we leave the blue outlines? Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. That would be good.
And then the orange, and then but we need to remove the. We need to make a dark red.
Let's call this parrot red.
Parrot red.
And let's make a new costume. No, we're going to need to make a new sprite, aren't we, to do this? Okay. We'll leave that as it is for now. So we're going to go back to target sprite. So all we did there was took a costume and took a sprite and changed some colours. We'll go back to our target sprite and we'll go back to the code here. From the events blocks, we're going to drag a broadcast message.
Broadcast a message, yeah. And we want it inside the if loop.
That's right.
Not outside.
So if we see green, we want to broadcast the new message.
Green.
Call it green.
But isn't this like the... Isn't this the red parrot?
Oh, you wanted to do the red parrot. Okay, let's do this with the red one.
Yuri.
Well, let's just add another broadcast because we're going to do this anyway.
We're going to do it 20 times.
We'll broadcast a new message in here.
It's going to be red.
We'll do the same thing for yellow. So under events, where's broadcast gone? Broadcast. Another new message.
Yellow. Did I get it right? I got it right. Yay.
So now we want to put our little toucan. This is going to be our counter, our little parrot.
We want him a bit smaller. He's a bit ginormous.
Right, okay. Should we make his size a bit smaller? Should we go with 50? Not 10.
Not 10, because then it'll be 10.
Does that look good? About 50. And we'll move him down here. Maybe even smaller than 50.
25?
Should we try 30?
There we go. That's good. Now I want... So it should be able to count.
So what we're going to do is when this parrot receives the red message.
Oh, do we want it to appear and duplicate itself? Because I want it to be able to count it.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
We're going to make, to start with, when we receive red.
Change X by 10?
We're going to change X by 10.
But doesn't it need to duplicate then change X by 10?
Now, what happens? So which one do we do this when we receive red? So if we hit run again.
And we put up red.
Parrot
You're just like walking across.
He is just walking across.
If I just hold it in, and you have to go in.
Okay.
Go in again. And in again. And we just fell off. Pen.
Okay, so next thing we're going to do is make a mark.
But it's good. We have to move it all the way back. So we make it reset at the beginning point.
So we do get. I think we get to that.
Yeah, we do. Now let me put in.
Okay.
No, we cannot do it. We do not have the right blocks. We need to get another add-on.
Another extension, the pen extension. That's right. Now we've got all of these different pen things. When I receive red, stamp.
Let's go. Red. So basically, I think ours needs to be a bit more than 10, 15 probably.
Oh, because he's a bit big.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll change X by 15 then, that's fine. But the other thing we need to do is only show while we're stamping and then hide. So we'll show
Stamp.
Change X by 15, and then hide.
Well, that should be it, but we want it to reset.
And
So-
the other thing we need to do is make it reset. You're quite right. So when the flag's clicked,
We want it to go to where do we want it to go to?
we'll start with when the flag's clicked.
Can we just reset him?
He won't reset by himself. We've got to put the code in to reset
Because
it.
each part isn't. Oh, but, they're a bit pixelated.
Yeah, that's because they're drawn. They're not the sprite. They're just a picture. So we need to clear all of that as well. So what we're going to do,
So
when the flag's clicked, need to hide this sprite again. Hide our parrot. And in the pen, we have an erase all, which is the thing that hides.
got this, and we want it to move to 200 and 150.
And we're going to add a go
200,
to
150.
200, 150. Okay, so minus 200.
And minus 150.
So this is resetting everything for this
Let's
sprite.
try this. Oh,
Okay.
and there we go. Red. That one is red, 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 red. I'm just making it infinite number so it can count. Now we just need to make a bunch more parrots, basically.
You're right. How are we going to do that, do you think?
Duplicate.
So if you right click on the sprite, you're not duplicating the costume because we want a whole new sprite. So right click, duplicate on the sprite, and then we're going to change the color of that one.
So we want this one to be green.
So pick a green,
This green? Is that a good green?
maybe a bit darker.
Maybe a bit darker.
No, and then bring the brightness down a bit.
There.
Okay, yeah,
Green body and green wings, like that.
perfect. And then duplicate him again. Right click, duplicate, and this one needs to be a nice yellow.
We don't want it like our yellow. We don't want it to be the brown yellow. We will have to turn the brightness
That's a bit
up,
greeny,
so-
that yellow, isn't it? A bit yellower. There you go. Gentle. There.
There?
Yeah.
And it is more likely to find a yellow parrot than a yellow toucan or a green toucan.
So we've now got 3 sprites.
Don't we just duplicate it? Oh, we want it to be higher up.
We've got to change the code as well.
We want it to be higher up though.
Yeah.
And this
So
is bigger, so it needs to go up higher.
let's go back to the, having done those duplicating, let's go back to the code. So this was the red one. When I receive red, we show the sprite, stamp ourselves, change X by 15 and hide.
Let's just duplicate that into parrot 2 and parrot 3.
And when the flag is clicked, hide and erase all
but
of
we
the
want
drawing.
it to move.
Okay, Alex, can you stop talking over me just for a minute, darling? You can explain what the erase all's doing.
Just removing all the stamps.
It's removing all the stamps and
Clean.
then
Just wiping it all away.
putting the sprite back to minus 200 and minus 150.
So let's just duplicate that to all of them.
So your ball isn't resetting. Have you used a ball instead of a parrot or something else? These show and hide blocks are important because that's what makes the sprite disappear and only the stamp appear. So we show first and then stamp and move and then hide. So hide makes the sprite disappear, and there's also a hide at the one green flag. So make sure you've got both of those in your code if you're having problems. So we'll do the same for the green one. But what do we need to do? We've clicked on the green one. What are we going to change?
This needs to be smaller.
Yeah, minus.
Negative 120, but this might not work for us.
Okay, let's try it.
Let's just try it.
Do you think you might also need to change the message it's receiving?
So.
What's going to happen?
What? What? There's a yellow. We need to change the yellow parrot too, and
Yeah.
I think we need to make that 110 instead
Okay.
of 120.
Okay, so let's start with the green one and we'll change it to minus 110. And we'll also change it so that it only works when it receives the green message, not the red message.
Well, I think we might need
And
to.
then we need to do the
What?
same thing for yellow.
So we removed it 40, so we need to remove 40 again from 110.
So when it receives yellow, we want it to
Should be
do
70.
minus 110, but then you want to take 40 away, so you're saying minus 70. That feels about right.
Let's go
You going to
here.
try it?
So I want to go So red should be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Green should be at there.
Yeah.
And then yellow should be at the top. Yeah, that's good. And
And
then we go, yeah. No?
yellow.
Green. Red.
Yeah.
Red.
I want yellow to win the race.
No, red. 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 My guy's
There we
going to win
go.
the race. Huh? Red. 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 Look. Red won the race.
There we go.
Won the race.
And that's,
Is that it?
That's the end of the project.
But we need to add.
Can you think of something else you'd like to do? So that's all that's in this tutorial. This one's a bit of a quicker tutorial than some, but it's pretty cool that we have managed in Scratch to do blocks with videos and drawing. That's things that we haven't done before.
What should we do next?
Do you want to make his wings flap?
What I want it to flap its wings
Mm.
and draw a line across the screen. When you do when it gets to that end, it starts bouncing like you've done too many.
Or maybe when
Things
it
about
gets
the
to a number, then it should flap off. Maybe if you get to 10,
It gets to a number and it flaps off with a trail behind it.
that would be cool.
So is there no? Let me see. Is this a real thing? Can you go into pen
What are you looking
and
for?
see is there set pen size change? That's not good because I want it to sense when there's.
Well, how about we start by doing the counting, so we give each one a score as well, so it can count. It's got a number.
Is that a variable?
That is a variable. So what we're going to do is add a variable for each of these parrots. So we're going to create. Where are you off to, Alex? Okay, off you go. Has everybody stopped being able to hear us? Let me just check my helpers. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You dropped lower for just a second, but I think it's all good.
Okay. I hope it's all right. It's probably because we were trying to work out what to do. So we're going to try and add something that keeps count as well. So we'll start by adding a variable in each parrot. And we'll make a variable for this sprite only called count. And we'll do the same for each of the parrots. We'll make a variable called count.
I'm back.
Oh no, it needs to be for this sprite only. For this one,
Can we have it disappear?
we'll make a variable called count for this sprite only. So now look, we've got a parrot, and shall we rename these parrots so we remember that this is red?
Red.
And this one is green.
Green.
And this one is yellow.
Yellow. Can we help make those disappear?
Well, should we leave them there for now so that we know what's happening? We'll make them disappear when we've done what we want. Yeah.
How many parrots are there? And don't we want to number only the stamps?
So what do you think we want to do?
The stamp.
Have a little think about it. At the moment, when we get a red event, we're doing a stamp and a move, but we also want to make the count go up, don't we? So how do we do that?
I know. Change count by 1.
That's right.
Top thing?
Doesn't really matter where it goes in that.
Bottom thing after it's hidden. It has reset so we can go. This is on the red parrot. Red. Red.
Hold it a bit closer. There you go.
Red.
Oh, look, the red count's gone up.
Green count still doesn't go up. We haven't done that.
We haven't added the
Red.
counting thing to each of these, have we?
So
let's
is there a when count hits?
Well, we can do that in a minute. Change count by 1 on each of those. The other thing we want to do is reset the count when it starts. So we'll set count to 0 at the start of each of these.
But don't we want it to when count gets to? Oh, I think that's in operators.
So somebody wants a recap. Should we do a recap of where we've got to so far?
Recap.
Recap. All right, so shall we start with our target sprite? Because this is where we started. We started with nothing.
This is where we ended our last recap on.
Here we go. This is the main code on the thing that we've called sprite 1, but we should be calling target according to the we'll just rename that as well.
Red.
Right, Alex, I want you to tell me what we did here. Can you remember?
I don't.
So we started with one sprite in here that we deleted, the cat, and then we did
The cat is evil.
we did a paint. So we drew the sprite and we drew our costume.
And if you want a straight line that goes straight and or horizontally, press shift.
So we drew one of those. And the code for the target looks like this. As long as you've made sure that you've got the pen extension and the video syncing extension added, then both of these will work. When the green flag, you're howling like a wolf. When the green flag is clicked, set video transparency to 0. What does that do?
Makes the video not transparent.
Means you can see it, and turn the video on.
But you can't see me.
And then setting ghost effect, which is in looks, which is one of these effects here, that makes our target go transparent. And then in a forever loop, we have an if block from control. And then we added a sensing block for touching color.
Red, that's red.
And use the picker here to choose a color. But we're going to cancel that in a minute. Added a broadcast from events and made some new events, one for each color. And also a say block from looks and say green or say red or say yellow. So we've got 3 of those. Hopefully that's the main code.
Dad, why isn't it flying away? We're at 10.
We haven't done that bit of code yet. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
Elliot, hopefully you've got enough of what you need for the main code. Do you need me to show you any more in the main code, or shall we move on to the parrots?
The parrots.
Adam, I'm afraid the videos aren't on YouTube Kids yet. It will probably take us a day or 2 to get that sorted. Thanks, Elliot. I'm glad you're okay. So now we're going to move on to the parrots, and each parrot has the same code. We created
Except
duplicates.
This is removed 40, and that is changed.
Okay, so the red parrot has -150 on its Y.
And that's 110.
The green has -110, and the yellow has -70.
And they're receiving different messages.
And they're receiving different messages. That's right. So what did you want to happen when we get to 10?
I wanted it to fly away with a trail of parrots following it.
So, okay, so what do we need to do then?
We want it to
Want an if.
So it will be in.
And we're going to need to do a comparison, aren't we?
Comparison equals. We need equals. So until when this equals that.
Yeah.
Show and fly away.
So when we're going to variables, when our count equals 10. So when we've seen 10 of them,
it won't work. We want it to appear with a trail of parrots behind it.
Oh, how do you think you might do that? So if you're going to keep...
So as it moves, it stamps.
Okay, so we want it showing.
We want it to show.
And we want it to stamp, which is in pens.
To stamp. And we want it to bounce off the sides.
And we want it to move a bit, don't we?
So we want it to change X by...
Are we going to do a move forward and point in different directions? We've done some bouncing around like that. So if we do a turn, and should we make it a little bit of a random number?
Yeah, random. That means we need a... Oh, sorry. I was going to say something that was...
Where's random? Can you remember where random is?
Random?
There it is. Pick random.
From 1?
Well, actually, if we do -10 to +10, that's going to go a little bit left and up and down like that. And then we want it to move, so more motion.
We want it to move across and bounce from side to side.
Move
bounce.
10 steps.
Then bounce off. If on edge, bounce. Right there. Right there!
If on edge, bounce. Very good.
So if we start it now.
Well, you need to repeat this because it needs to keep doing it, doesn't it, Alex?
Oh yeah, but
So-
we don't really need it in a forever loop then.
We do.
The entire thing in a forever loop, or just that bit? Yeah, that'll work. Let's go. Oh wait, we're gonna have to get to 10
Okay.
just on the red.
So only the red one's going to do this. See if you can get it to 10. See what happens.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It won't scan. Red,
7,
red,
8,
red.
9. Is that what you wanted?
But I think I wanted it there to be no one other than blue, because the blue kind of breaks it. Well, no, now we must get to 10 using all the colours.
Well, the others don't have that code. But that's the kind of thing you can do once you've done that first bit of
Can we
projects.
add it to all of them?
You can make it do all sorts of different things. But I think that's us done with this lesson. This was a bit of a quick lesson today. Hope everybody's managed to get to what they want to. Have a little play. See what other things you can do with it. See how you can make your parrot behave differently. See how you can use a different shape or do different things when you detect colours.
But now we're just going to carry on with what
The other things you could have a look at is in the video sensing, there's something called when video motion. You might want to see if you can play with that and see if something happens when you move your colours around. I don't know what that does, but that might be fun to play with.
When we do a big jump, make the parrot be like, "Stop!"
That would be very funny. So hope you all enjoyed that one and have fun playing with Scratch in the video camera.
Happy.
Thank you to all my helpers. Any questions from anybody? Any last questions? Otherwise, we'll wrap up now.
No, I think you've answered everything as we've gone.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you. Have a lovely weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next Code Club. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.